Alright, we're back for more. It was the top save, wasn't it? Yeah, definitely the top save. Righto, the goal of this recording session is to make it to, I guess, the next investigatory bit. Because it's quite obvious we haven't got all the facts yet, so I'm assuming there is going to be another one. Alright! I have coffee and water. Let us begin. I wasn't able to find any conclusive evidence yesterday, but if I could figure out Lady Kira's motive for threatening the High Priest, then maybe... Nick, today well... Don't look so down, Maya. I'm gonna defend you with everything I've got! Everything. You would do well to cease this insanity while you still can. Oh, at least she cares. As I said yesterday, I'm going to defend my client in court. Well, know this. You shall not witness a miracle of the sort that occurred last time. How the fuck do you know? Have you seen it? The moment she is found guilty, you too will be found guilty of abetting the accused. I never claimed to be a miracle maker, but I am good at discovering the truth. And unlike miracles, the truth is always waiting to be found. The truth, you say? Then it seems you have chosen your fate. This shall be your very last trial. Oh, please don't fucking start this shit again, please. I can't be bothered. Nick, I'm going to prove you innocent, Maya. You'll see. After all, you have to introduce the Plumed Punisher, warrior of Neo-Twilight Realm, to the folks back home, right? Right! I may be a defendant this time, and a couple of other times, but I'll be by your side like always, Nick. Thanks, Maya. This place is tough on lawyers. I'll need all the help I can get. Plus, it's always good to have you on the team. Well, it's time. Let's go. Oh, she's actually going to be helping us out. How the fuck does that work? Doesn't that seem like a conflict of interest? Although, considering that everyone's got a fucking conflict of interest in this bloody thing, I don't know, maybe they're just like, well, yeah, we're dicks too, fair enough. It begins! Blah! Let the trial of Maya Fey begin! The defense is ready, Your Majesty. Oh, look, what's up, Naita? He's alright, I kinda like him. Huh? Oh yeah, it's not weird in the non-foreign part of foreign land. Bloody fucking... Quiet! Can't you see Prosecutor Sarmati is absorbed in silent prayer? Great, the trial's barely started and the judge is already mad at me. He's very devout for a prosecutor. Why is the accused standing over there? Oh, well... Your Majesty, in addition to being the accused, she is also my assistant. Again, fucking massive conflict of interest, but fine. The accused is your assistant, you say? Very well. What? Alright, very well then. A criminal does indeed make a fitting partner to a lawyer with a defiled soul. That wasn't very nice. Yeah, well, bad-mouthing lawyers seems to be a custom of sorts here in Karain. I must say, I am surprised to see you still here in Karain, Mr. Wright. And even more so to find you in the Hall of Justice once more. You're fucking crazy! I cannot fathom why you would willingly risk your life in yet another trial. The answer is simple, Your Majesty. I am a lawyer, and this is what lawyers do. Although, to be frank, I'd rather be anywhere but here right now. Any day, love. Such foolishness. Ah, Prosecutor Sarmati, are you ready to begin now? Yes, Your Majesty, the prosecution is ready. Let us begin without further delay. Fuck off, butterfly. But first, I promise you both this. I will cast your wicked souls into the fires of hell, I suppose at least it presents an interesting contrast between in sort of America not America land, he's fucking looked at as a bloody great weirdo, and in Korean he's looked at as, oh yeah, no, that's cool, this is what people do. So it presents an interesting contrast, I suppose, between fictional America and fictional, I don't know, fictional something. Awful lot of fire casting. A pretty shitty religion, all things considered. It's taking an awful lot of it very literally. Thus shall the soul of the victim attain salvation. Ha! Pants. Splendid! I would expect nothing less of you, Prosecutor Submarty. It was like, oh, he's a mad pimp. Oh yeah, look at that. He's got a fucking sash that just floats for some reason. No one's going to call upon the fact that he's obviously a wizard. Tasty, not a shake coffee. I think I'll pass on that whole fire and brimstone deal. But I'm not surprised by your words or stance, considering what Apollo's told me about you. Fuck that guy. He was a prick. So it was you who instilled that putrid, loyally guile within him. Putrid? What? He too must soon face the fires, lest his soul be lost to redemption. But I shall send you on ahead, so that he will not be lonely when he arrives. Sorry, but I'm afraid it won't be that easy. People say I never know when to give up, as he says with a smug fucking face. Nervous, Maya? A little. Feels like it's been ages since we stood side by side like this in court. It has, believe me, I swear, like 3 games. Too bad I'm the defendant. Don't worry. We haven't lost a case together yet. You're right. Let's give us everything we've got, Nick. I suppose at least they have actual motivation for both wanting to give it their all, even though it's going to be explained 18 billion times. I realise that I'm explaining that 18 billion times. Oh, that's ironic. Now then, Prosecutor Submarty, would you please explain the case at hand? Of course, Your Majesty. Let us begin the last rites of the victim. As you can see on bullshit parchment, Maya Fey has been charged with the crime of murder. The victim of a heinous crime was High Priest Tarist Inme. He was conducting the purification rite when he was brutally slain. And the cause of death? Let us review the victim's autopsy report and the crime scene photo, shall we? He got mad stabbed and fell into that. The cause of death was blood loss from a stab wound delivered to the abdomen. The murder weapon was likely the Warbar dagger which was used in the rite. However, the weapon has yet to be found, though the scene was thoroughly searched. A sacred relic used as a tool of murder? The Holy Mother's wrath shall be most severe. The murder itself took place at the height of the purification rite. The accused had donned Lady Kira's sacred robes, and the victim was there to offer prayers as a high priest of Quranism. During the rite, the victim and accused were the only two at the inner sanctum. Therefore, the only person who could have slain the victim is Maya Fey. Seems perfectly fucking logical to me. I must say that does cast a great deal of suspicion on upon the accused. Indeed. Now then, allow me to submit this diagram of the crime scene as evidence in this case. Lovely jubbly. In Quranism, slaying a priest is a sin most grave and dreadful. As such, Maya Fey's soul shall be plunged into the lowest level of hell, the hell of tickling. Ha! Brilliant. There she shall be tickled without end for 500 million years! That is a terrible fate indeed, would the defense care to respond? And here I thought the lowest level of hell was the hell of back pain. I don't remember killing anyone, and I don't have that dagger or anything like it. Bollocks, sir! As my client stated, she has no memory of the event as described by the prosecution. But more importantly, she had no motive to kill the High Priest in the first place. Oh, maybe she does. Why that butterfly back? I thought you might say that. Nevertheless, the meaningless prattle of lawyers is utterly ineffectual here in the Hall of Justice. Yes, well, it's not really a great Hall of Justice, is it, you pleb? You know, that's why you lost in the other country, because lawyers actually have some fucking clout. Dumbass. For all will be made clear by benevolence, Rafer, Padma, Kuron's insides. It's just not even a fucking name. I like Rafer, but that's just stupid. So it is, and so it shall be. The divination seance reveals the truth for all to see, and then get immediately disproved. Here we go again. Bailiff, please show in the royal priestess. Blah, so she can do a stupid fucking dance that takes 5 bloody minutes of my life. Go on then, woman. Get on with it. Oh my god, it's her that we can go and see whenever we want. Wow, brilliant. As popular as ever, I see. Rest assured, good people of Kuron, I will defeat this murderer and her abettor. They shall not escape on their freedom expressed today. What a joy it is to have the royal priestess back in the Hall of Justice. Does she have to do this quite, fairly often? Right, if she's the only one who can bloody do it because she's of royal fucking descent, then surely she's got to fucking turn up every 10 minutes to be like, it's sufficient, boop-a-doop-doo, killed him, bye. May the Holy Mother grant us a divine favour. Erdehara Kuron. Yeah, whatever. She sure looks pleased with herself. Especially for someone who didn't know what a Freedom Express was until yesterday. Is there something stuck to my face, barbed head? No, nothing, your benevolence. Now then, your benevolence, the divination seance, if you please. Very well. Dana, my robe. What's the point of bringing a fucking staff with you, you pillock?
Oh, Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your
Oh,
name.
shove it up your bum.
Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. Oh, dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
No, not again, for fuck's sake! God, they really know how to pad it out, don't they? All the fucking flashbacks of this shit again for the 3rd goddamn time! And that weird bloody goat harpy shrieking in the background, it's not helpful! I suppose it gives me time to vape a bit. That's all it's got going for it. Although, like I say, I suppose if you actually spent money on animation, you'd probably want to get as much use out of it as possible. But if this isn't leading to a joke where she's doing it and then she stacks it and falls into the pool of water, I'll be really disappointed. You done? Thank you. You can probably skip that somehow, I just can't be arsed. Might be star, I don't know. Oh! Yeah, you can probably skip that. It's a separate cutscene. Oh, well. Well, she ain't in her robes. He's doing his stupid this is how small my penis is thing. They post something out. Having a look. Having a butcher's. Big old butcher's. Wind. Oh, she's in her robes. Incense, footsteps. Oh, God, pain. Lots of pain. Stab. Dead. There. Alright, from a technical standpoint, it doesn't show her changing into the robes, does it? Because he was too busy absorbed in his Quranist porn. The victim's Mitama has spoken. The divination seance is complete. Great. Another clearly incriminating seance vision. It could not be any clearer, O foul defense. The accused donned the sacred robes of Lady Kira and then attacked the victim. She's bloody quick about it, I'll tell you that. Oh, how very terrible it must have been. The figure of Lady Kira lit against the dim lantern light, the scent of incense growing ever more potent as she drew near. One can almost sense the horror Abbott in me must have felt. Fucking butterfly, will you get out of it, Christ! The facts as presented by her benevolence are indisputable. But, that wasn't me! Do something, Nick! I'm working on it! That couldn't have been any clearer. It looks like I'm in for another uphill battle. Yes, you bloody well are. The accused committed this vile act during our ancient tradition, the purification rite. Come to think of it, the Wright's guide explains the multi-part purification rite in detail. Oh, that's handy. The transformation rite, the high priest reads scripture while a priestess dons the robes of Lady Kira. Alright. The rite of water. Lady Kira enters the spring and the high priest purifies her along with her dagger. The rite of fire. The priestess circles the sacred flames to purify her soul. What was the point of the water bit then? Indeed. It would seem that the murder occurred during the transformation rite. The rite dictates that the high priest stand in front of the spring. Therefore, the accused must have attacked him from the direction of the broken lantern. Well, Barbed Head, would you care to object? Of course, because I know my client is innocent, and I haven't got a shred of evidence to back it up, so shut up. Heh, so you say. You truly do not know when you are beaten, do you? I managed to pull it off last time with Albie. I'll just have to do it again. You intend to find fault with her benevolence's insights yet again? It's not necessarily at fault, they just need context. It's not that bad, you know, it's got to need a bit of explanation. It would seem lawyers are Paul-Coonan creatures indeed. Oh, Paul-Coonan? Jesus! Steady on, man. What exactly is a Paul-Coonan? Someone who's a real piece of work, so to speak. They can call me anything they want. The only thing I care about is uncovering the truth. So, Barbed Head, are you foolish enough to risk your life for your so-called truth? Because my insights are the truth. To deny them is to willingly dig your own grave. He's not denying them, he's using them. They're quite helpful, actually. Nothing wrong with them. Just, you know, your interpretation of them is wrong. It's an entirely different concept. The victim commenced the purification rite by bowing to the lanterns and reading a sutra. That he did. As the first part, the transformation rite, ended, he lowered the sutra. Suddenly, he heard the accused approaching footsteps and smelled her incense-laden robes. And then shank. It was then that the victim felt an intense pain. I believe this is when he was stabbed. And then he flung himself over into the spring. As his life's blood spilled over, his vision dimmed till finally he passed from our world. Oh no. That is everything the victim experienced in his final moments. Lovely. Dressed in the sacred robes of Lady Kira, the accused rushed the victim head on. The brutal stabbing she perpetrated could not have been any clearer. Yes. It is plain for all to see. No, it wasn't me! A sudden drowsiness came over me during the transformation, Wright. I didn't even get a chance to put on Lady Kira's robes. Oh, how fucking convenient is that? You are talking out your arsehole, woman. The butterfly says no. Gregory. You waste our time with such meaningless statements, accused. You cannot explain away the truths revealed by the royal priestess' divine insight. No, you can, quite comfortably. Again, just needs context to change your interpretation. We're not saying it's bollocks, even though it really is, but, you know, it seems to be helpful. Oh. How did you end up finding contradictions last time? The deceased's final memories include all 5 senses. Oh, you mean those words that appeared in the pool of souls? It looks to me like the bigger the word, the stronger the sensation was to the victim. Yeah, that's how it looked to me too. The sensations themselves are never wrong, only their interpretations. Thank you! That's why I tried to point out mistakes in Rafer's insight the last time. So there could be contradictions between what Abbot Inmee felt and her insights, huh? No! Her insights are fine! He said it! You got it, and I'm gonna find them this time too. Should I check how to point out contradictions? No, I think I'm fine. Probably. I've probably completely forgotten. The sensations this time seem to fluctuate more than the ones from Albie's trial. In which case, I'd better keep an eye on changes in their intensity too. Okay, time to point out the sensations that contradict the insights. Alright, the victim commenced the purification rite by bowing to the lanterns and reading a sutra, you big gay. As the first part, the transformation rite ended, he lowered the sutra suddenly. He heard the accused approaching footsteps, and yeah, it was then that the victim felt an intense pain. I believe this is when he was stabbed. Wind. How do I go back to this? Why? That's it. Wait a minute. You may as well just fucking pause it. Right, what was weird about that? Yeah, alright, I'm gonna go with fucking incense. That seems probably gonna be something of note, isn't it? Yeah, the accused approaching footsteps and smelled her incense-laden robes. Was that after? So he heard wind. He saw that. Incense, footsteps, pain. It seems about right, to be brutally honest. I mean, I can't really think of anything massively wrong with it. He's bowing towards shit. Melody Rinses laden robes. Why did it happen a brief? He heard the accused, smelled her incense laden robes. Well, I don't know. Seems fine. I don't know, I'm trying to think about it, to be honest. I can't really think of anything particularly wrong with her statement. I'd like to know what the wind was and why the wind looked all funky chunky. I suppose, yeah, that's a broken wind guard, isn't it? Oh, bloody hell, fucking god, trying to look at that, it's tidy. Purification rite is a three-part ceremony. Boo da boo da boo. Begins with the transformation rite. High priest reads scripture while the priest dons the which has been purified. Next to the rite of. Alright, so we're ignoring that. Well, the incense is there, obviously. Heard footsteps. She didn't have a bell on her or some shit, did she? I don't know. I'm just sort of trying to think about what might have been weird and janky about it. And there is always the other point of it's like, smell their incense? I couldn't tell you. Oh, I know what it probably was. It was probably the fucking sound, was it? Or the wind, wasn't it? I'm gonna rock and roll with that. That?
Objection!
We rock and rolling with that? No, we're not. Okay. Alright then, I don't know. I mean, it seems fair, I just can't think about it. Oh, hang on, you have a pile of wisdom. I'm still trying to figure this whole insight thing out. When the words change size, that means the intensity of those sensations is yes, that's what it looks like to me. So then, that's probably something we should keep an eye on too. In short, we should be on the lookout for changes that shouldn't take place but they do anyway. And changes that don't occur when they should. Okay. That's fine. Well, you know what? Fair enough. If I'm being a thicky bobo, I appreciate it. Alright then, let's have a look at the fucking intensity of shit then. Go on, get your bloody bit of paper out, you old fuck. Does the incense, like, pick up or something? The incense gets... Well, the incense gets bigger as she gets closer. That seems perfectly fair. I can't think of anything really wrong with that. Was there any shit at the start that I wasn't paying attention to? Anything at all? Seems all randy-dandy. No? Anything? Anything? Yeah, wind. Shank. Incense. Footsteps. Pain. Lots of pain. No, there's nothing I can fucking see that's really wrong with it. Should there be something that's wrong with it? Yeah, the accused approaching footsteps and smell their incense-laden robes. Yeah, that seems perfectly fine to me. I can't see what the fucking problem is. Yeah, wind, good, yes. Well, why did the incense sort of pop up for a brief moment? Is that what I'm looking for? Is it footsteps when she's not moving? Is that something to do with it? Because, I mean, she's not moving. Nothing wrong with that. Why not? Nothing wrong with that? I don't fucking know. Nothing fucking wrong with that. Probably wrong. I honestly have no idea what the fucking problem is. Oh? Oh, well, okay. Cool. Yeah, I did it! The victim supposedly heard the accused approaching footsteps. But did he really? Yes, probably. I don't see why not. What nonsense is this? Is it not abundantly clear? Yeah, I think it was. She's not moving. No, it's not, because there is something strange about those footsteps. Is there? Strange? Explain yourself, barbed head. The footsteps are strange because the timing doesn't make sense. Yeah, okay, I was right. There shouldn't be any footsteps. He's standing still. Yes. There should not be footsteps as the accused was approaching the victim. Really? Then you suggest that the accused was actually floating through the air. No, it's not that. Well, I mean, I suggest you hold your tongue. Suggestion noted. What do you fucking mean? What? No, it's fucking right. Screw you. Fucking. They're not getting any louder. I know it was saying like, oh yeah, no, look at the change in shit. Like, what the fuck is that? Alright, yeah, I suppose it would get louder as you get closer, but let's focus on the fact that there were footsteps when she wasn't fucking moving. Let's try that one. Fine, whatever. And why exactly does that matter? Please focus your attention on the incense the victim smelled. The scent grows stronger as the accused approaches. Alright, fair enough. I suppose that is an inconsistency. Maybe. If the accused really had approached the victim, the sound of her footsteps would have grown louder as the scent of incense grew stronger. I guess. Maybe. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I don't know if whoever's watching this, feel free to tell me if I was being derpy or not, but I swear that she wasn't moving and there was a sound of footsteps. Oh well. Well, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, whatever. How can this be explained, Your Benevolence? Well, there must be a reason. Again, it's like your visions aren't wrong, dipshit. It's just perceive them wrong. Oh, everyone's looking at her like, oh wow, what a dumbass. It is as they say. Even a putrid worm of a lawyer will turn. Who says that? What does that even mean? He's not exactly singing your praises, that's for sure. Still, we cannot discount this information solely on account of its lawyerly source. Your Benevolence? Perhaps you must listen more carefully to the Abbot's mitama. Listen more carefully? What's he talking about? Yes, it would appear so. I shall try to refine the sensation. Refine the sensation?! I can more accurately gauge sensations by deepening my communication with a mitama. What are you fucking doing to begin with, you dipshit? Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Why have we never done this before? By refining a sensation, a clearer picture of the truth can be discovered. Yes, let's just do that all the time from now on, you silly Burke. Oh, bless you, mitama, I beseech you, hear me now and respond to my call. Fucking explain. Oh. Footsteps change into bells. What could this mean? Well, fuckface was wearing bells, so there you go. Bells? But the only bells at the scene of the crime were... Ah! That jingling must have come from Abbot Inme's bells. You mean those big things he had on his ankles? Well, there you have it. Have what? The sound of bells was from the High Priest's own footsteps. Then that means... If the footsteps belonged to the victim himself, it means it was the victim who was moving, not the accused. Oh, the victim was the one who went running toward the broken lantern from the spring. A far cry from what our Benevolence's insight would have us believe. Not really. Again, how you interpret it. That's an interesting interpretation, though. Yeah, I suppose. Well, that's different. But why would the victim have approached the accused? Maybe he was trying to defend himself. Please explain. He could have felt threatened by Lady Kira standing there with a dagger. If so, he might have thought to overpower her before she attacked. She's not wrong, you fucking idiots! Still your voices, this is nothing but a theory, and a poor one at that. Be not led astray by this lawyer's obvious postulation. Oh shit. While his insolence is inexcusable, I would ask that you calm yourself, your benevolence. Is there something you would care to say, Prosecutor Sarmadi? Even if it was Abbott in me who moved, it does not negate the accused's crime. What do you think he means, dumbass? The accused was likely waiting for the High Priest to approach. Why? Ah! And as he neared, she plunged the dagger into him. It is as simple as that. Oh, right. It really doesn't change much, does it? Yes, it is as the prosecutor has said. In fact, it is as I meant to say all along as well. Ah, you're full of shit. Right, and that's why you were so shocked when you first heard it. Understand now, lawyer, that contradiction you conjured up has come to naught. Once I hone my insights, it will vanish like the dying rays of the sun. Insight revised. Rush the accused and tries to fight her off by the broken lantern. Well, that seems mighty interesting. See, the fact that it was Abbott in me who moved changes nothing. Arrgh! Come on, Pheonix, you gotta keep your cool. That contradiction I pointed out must mean something. That one sensation changed after Princess Rafa refined her visions. It stands to reason that something else might have changed too because of the refinement. I should focus on any sensations that have changed, while searching for more contradictions between them and her insights. I appreciate it when they help thicky bobos like myself. Alright, what we got? The first part, the rush, the accused tried to fight her off by the broken... right, okay. Right, so that's the only change statement. Come on then, what's different? So the bells have changed, the incense will still be there. Wind. Wind. Bells, incense, water? What the fuck is water? Well, there's no fucking water by the broken lantern, so let's go fucking pick on that shit. That was more painfully obvious than the fucking footsteps, but alright. Okay, you bitch. Is that... oh, that's sound. Why would that... oh, fuck it. Well, you know, it's right there! Let's have a go. Good. That was a gimme, man. Come on. I don't know why I'm moaning, but whatever. How do we know the purification rite was performed exactly as it was supposed to be? That's easy. The customs governing the rite are very clear, and Abbott in me would have adhered to them. Yeah, until some fucking knife-wielding lunatic showed up. Well, that's strange. Mr. Wright, would you care to explain just what is so strange? Yes, I would ask you to consider the sound of the victim's footsteps. Oh, I see. So, like, the sound of bells changes to the sound of water at one point. So you're saying he went through water to get to her? What's this? It's simple. The victim must have stepped in some water. Oh? Well, there was only one pool of water around, so there you go. The only source of water in the inner sanctum is the spring. And therein lies the contradiction, which doesn't actually do an awful lot. What contradiction? I believe the rite started out as it should have. The victim stood with his back to the spring and the accused stood right in front of him. But we now know that the victim then moved into the spring. Paul Conker, that is absurd! This means the accused location differs from what her benevolence's insight indicates. Again, the insight doesn't actually indicate an awful lot. I mean, alright, there's a lamp there, but... In fact, no, because it's the broken lamp. How the fuck does that work? I don't know. Or is it broken? It might be broken. It looked broken. Blah! Then, where do you propose the accused stood once she donned Lady Kira's robes? I don't fucking know. That's how the victim... I haven't got the foggiest fucking idea. Well, it's got to be somewhere over there, I guess. Suppose I didn't see it. Well, right, so, hang on. He looked over and saw a lantern. There was some wind and shit. I'm gonna guess right fucking there. Until this moment, we've all just assumed that Abbott Inmee and Miss Fay were standing where they were supposed to be, as shown in this Wright's guide. In short, the victim should have been standing with his back to the spring, and the accused in front. However, if that is how they were really standing, he couldn't have stepped into the spring as he approached her. The problem is, the victim did step into the spring. That can only mean that Miss Fay had actually been standing in the water. Don't fucking use her name like that, man. But if this is true, then their positions would have been completely reversed and still wouldn't change shit, but alright. Suppose it raises questions. What is going on here, Miss Fay? Were you really standing in the spring? I'm sorry, but I barely remember anything about the Wright. Rabble! 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 Be that as it may, this has not overturned my insights. It doesn't. Let us say the accused was standing in the spring. So what? So what? This completely reverses their positions is what? That their positions differed from what is customary is rather curious. However, what does that change? It certainly does not erase the accused's brutal crime. I guess you have a point there. You lawyers are an absurd breed. Never thinking ahead, you cling to the first insignificant contradiction you can muster. Well, he's gotta fucking start somewhere. Urk. Sounds like Princess Rafer has a pretty good grasp on what lawyers are all about. Oh my, where would I be without your brutally frank commentary right now? Really, we're flashing back? Oh, we flashing to present? Is this contradiction really meaningless? But something really doesn't feel right. Did I take a wrong turn somewhere? What are we flashing to? I will now amend my insight to account for this new truth. Why are you amending? I thought this was Blokey who's fucking, like, vision. Or, no, it's your interpretation of it. He rushed the accused and tried to fight her off by the poolside lantern. Now the contradiction is no more. But the truth of the matter still stands, no matter how stubbornly you deny it. What do you have to say for yourself now, Mr. Wright? That's not much to say. Nick! Your Majesty, this lawyer may have raised a trivial objection, but her benevolence's insights have no further inadequacies of any kind. I think they fucking well do. Yes, so it would seem. Bollocks to you. Wait a second, but there is another contradiction. Fucking hell, that butterfly is just put a little fucking leash on it, man, for God's sake. Still you flounder about, wretched beast. Though you rack that putrid brain of yours, nothing worthwhile will come of it. Maya, please tell me you remember something that might help us out here. Sorry, I really don't remember a thing. But now that the place I was standing in has changed, who knows? That alone may cause a new discrepancy with Princess Rafer's insight. That's right, we now know that Maya was standing in the spring. A major change like that could very well produce a contradiction. I should take another look at the inner sanctum diagram in the court record, and confirm where Maya and Abbott Inmee were standing, and then focus on finding any discrepancies between their positions and the insights. Oh, let's get to the fucking lantern, because I think it is the lantern. I think. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, because you see the fucking... Yeah, no, it has to be the fucking broken lantern. It has to be. Well, do we have that in the court record? Where's the photo gone? I could have sworn we had a photo. Oh cool, we got more fucking activity. Yeah, it has to be the fucking broken lantern, really, doesn't it? Go back a bit, love. Wait, can I present evidence to that? Am I allowed to do that? Is that a thing? I don't know. It doesn't say I can. Let's, hang on, it said to fucking confirm their positions and shit. Let's go fucking confirm their positions and shit. Yeah, seems fine. I guess, Right, the first part, he rushed the accused and tried to fight her off by the spring side lantern. It was then that the victim felt an intense pain. Yada yada boop boop boop. Oh no, nothing new's really cropped up. Just saying, you know, if wind went through the lantern, then it was a broken lantern, right? But the problem is I have to fucking... I don't know. Yeah, it seems fucking fine there. I'm gonna fucking roll with that, because it seems right. Can I go inside? Am I allowed to go? Hang on a minute, wait, hang on, go back a bit. That fair? Can I roll with that? Objection! Done anything? Yeah, I did it! I'm a clever one. Your benevolence, I found a new contradiction. You did? No doubt it is but another of your vile attempts to slander my insights. Nope. Take a good look at what the victim saw. It might just change your mind. The lantern flame behind the accused was flickering. There is nothing unusual about that, especially as the wind had stirred. No, that's where you're wrong. If the accused had been standing in the spring... Yes? Then what you see here should be one of the lanterns flanking the statue. I fail to see your point? Well, you're fucking stupid. My point is, something is wrong here. The two lanterns flanking the statue were both outfitted with glass wind guards. So neither lantern's flame should have been flickering in the wind in the first place. Heh. She seems pretty tickled, Nick. I don't remember saying anything funny. I fail to see what you wish to prove here, but... very well. I shall refine the vision and reveal the truth for all to see. Why don't you just do it more, you pillock? Start out at full truth instead of working your way up to it, you bloody nonce. Oh dear. I still can't really fucking see it. Huh? That lantern doesn't have a wind guard on it. And rightly so. For the wind guard was removed to reveal the sacred flame within for the rite of fire. Therefore, there is nothing on about the flame flickering. Say what? But when we searched the crime scene, those lanterns had their wind guards on. That's because the police put them back up. What the fuck is that? The sacred flames have burned uninterrupted for hundreds of years, defense. Not like that, they won't. Christ. We could not risk them being extinguished, even during an investigation. That would never fly back home. Yeah, you've done some shady shit before, my friend. Well, Barbed Head, are you done quibbling? If so, then it is time to bow down before this testimony of the Mitama. Yes, lovely. What the fuck is that? Nick! Don't worry, Maya, I'm just getting started. Alright, let's go over everything we know so far. Maya was wearing Lady Kira's robes standing in the spring. No, she wasn't. We're trying to disprove that, but alright. The High Priest is thought to have been moving towards her. So I should look for sensations that stand in the contradiction to this arrangement. I won't give up. I'm gonna find a contradiction that will undermine the accusation against Maya. Right, so it ain't fucking fire. He bows at the thing. Bows at that thing. No wind guards, alright, it's dumb, but okay. Doing some bollocks. Wind, yes, wind, lovely. Bells, water, stabby, pain. I don't know, it seems fine. What do you fucking want from me? We're back to, yeah, I can see that. The victim commenced superiation right about, yes. As the first part of the transformation rite ended, he lowered the suture suddenly, he rushed the accused and tried to fight her off by the springside lantern. So he needs to find something that fucks around with that discrepancy. When he was stabbed. Is it something to do with the things he was bowing to? Hang on, what's the first one that he bowed to? Gravy. I don't fucking say anything. Is that how it's supposed to look? Huh, why does it look so shitty? Where's that fucking photo gone? Ah, it was that fucking lantern, wasn't it? Right, with you, on board. Bowing to the lantern, yeah, but is that... He rushed the accused to try to fight her off by the springside lantern. No, but he did rush the accused and fight her off by the springside lantern. Yeah, right, that is the broken one. We're super duper sure of that. Can we get over to... I just want to make super duper sure that I'm actually right, and then I've got to figure out how to get it. Yeah, no, it is right. We are right. Good. Aha! I'm just trying to make sure that I'm right before I try and be a spastic and figure out which fucking statement it wants me to use to get it to do things. I'm gonna roll with that. Alright, no, it's not the statement, it's inconsistent. What fucking... Because it's right. Like, that must mean that he fucking turns around. I just don't... There isn't a statement for that. Is there? I don't know. Oh, for God's sake, now I've got to fucking wait again. Like, that is the inconsistency, surely. It must be that. It must be. Come on.
Objection!
Huh? Yeah, okay. What could this possibly mean? That lantern clearly contradicts the insight, but this contradiction will overturn the entire case I've been building. Sort of, in its own bizarre way. In fact, it will kind of give Myra a decent out. Are you alright, Mr. Wright? One minute you shout out, and then in the next you fall silent. Yeah, he's fucking crazy like that. Perhaps it is like the bellow of one who is barreling down a hill with no way of stopping. Is that not right, Prosecutor Sarmadi? Oh, don't blow smoke up his arse. Oh, he's figured it out. Don't get cold feet now, Pheonix. Even if this overturns the entire case you built so far, the only way is to keep moving forward, because that's where we'll find the truth. Sorry, but I'm not barreling down a hill. In fact, I'm in full control of everything with the indisputable contradiction I've found. Is that so? The lantern behind the accused clearly, no, blatantly contradicts your insight. Does it now? One of the lanterns on the entrance side of the inner sanctum was broken, and if you watch what Abbot Inmee saw in his final moments, you will notice that the lantern behind the praying form of Miss Fey is broken. The lantern behind Lady Kira, however, is still intact. In short, we are seeing two different lanterns in this seance vision. How could this be? Well, because it's someone else's vision, you twat donkey. And even if it were so, how would that contradict my insights? Let me start by saying, the claim I'm about to raise will overturn the case I've built thus far. Will the defense please explain himself? Based on the broken lantern, we can tell... that. Where the accused and the victim were standing. But did you not just finish asserting that the accused was standing somewhere else? Yes, blatantly. I did, and I built my argument on that faulty premise. But thankfully, it has led us here. To the actual spot where Maya Fey was standing. I must say, if the defense keeps changing its assertions in such a capricious manner, its credibility may come into question. Yeah, because he has credibility in this place. I'm willing to take that risk, Your Majesty, because I believe this will be the last time. No, I fucking won't. I'd like to start by pointing out the actual spot where the accused was standing. Very well, show us where you now believe the accused was actually standing. Based on the location of the broken lantern, where was Maya really standing? About fucking there. I wasn't thinking straight before, but now it's all falling into place. We know the victim had stepped into the spring. That means Maya Fey had to have been standing in the water as he approached. However, his memory, which has only now become clear, reveals that Miss Fey was standing by the side of the broken lantern. In other words, she was standing where she was supposed to be according to custom. Does that not bring us back to the very beginning? No. This is where things take a different turn, and I mean that literally. The victim had to have been moving toward the spring. That means that while he was moving, he had his back turned towards the toward the accused. What's this? Do you mean to say the victim turned around during the rite? But such an image appears nowhere in the seance vision. Yeah, because he was looking at his stupid fucking porn. Actually, it does appear. It's just that no one noticed until now. No one noticed? How could no one have noticed something so big? There was a moment when the scripture the victim was holding was all we could see. Thanks to that, none of us could tell that he was, in fact, turning around in that moment. Nyah! Bollocks! If it is as the defense asserts, then her benevolence's insight no longer makes sense. They do. It just means that you've got to consider that there's a third person, or that Maya is some kind of Speedy Gonzales. How do you intend to explain that? I don't need to explain anything, because it's just as you said, Prosecutor Sir Marty. Her benevolence's insights don't make any sense because they contain a huge error. Such insolence! Rabble, rabble, rabble! A huge error, you say? He's fucking explained it! The huge error is the number of people there. I believe this is what happened at the scene of the crime. The victim was reading a suture when suddenly he sensed someone behind him. He immediately looked back to see someone dressed as Lady Kira standing there. Wishing to see who it was, he approached the robed figure, and then got shanked. That's when he was stabbed. This cannot be! Oh, but it can, and it is! The insight stating the accused stabbed the victim is wrong. It didn't state shit! I'm really desperately confused by that. Like, unless I'm talking about her interpretation of it, but it's like, why are you slagging her off for her interpretation of it? That's really mean-spirited. And that is the real truth lying behind this testimony of the dead. Poe? 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 Paul Conker! Are you suggesting that there was someone else at the scene of the crime? Can you didn't say fine? Have I misunderstood the voice of the Mitama yet again? Alright, okay, so it's basically, yeah, but I suppose, yeah, we are pointing out her. Fine, fuck it, whatever. The vision itself isn't wrong, though. Her interpretation of it is wrong, and it's like, alright, you've got to correct that to get to a point. The vision's fine. I don't understand why we're getting so slag off about it. This cannot be! Fuck! Whew, that was a close one. But I managed to divine the true meaning behind the seance vision somehow. I should add these new facts to the court record. Lovely. Your benevolence, please allow me to take it from here. I will overturn the brash accusations of this faithless, putrid-minded lawyer. Yes, I shall place my trust in you. Oh, she seemed really sad. Oh. Are you sure about this, Prosecutor Sir Marty? My work as an international prosecutor has taken me to courtrooms around the world. And in that time, I have learned to perform last rites for souls in trials lacking a seance. Lacking? No, the seance is fine. For God's sake. Yes, of course, forgive my ludicrous inquiry. Moreover, I have with me a forensic investigator from overseas. I will show you all the most magnificent last rites ever seen. Well, isn't that lovely? I'm going to go have a piss break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to see what Emma's got to say. Hope you're enjoying. In a bit. Peace.